So I am so blessed to have been invited here by my dear friend John Agnello to share with you what was difficult for me to quantify in his series called The Beauty Within. Being the child of, well, starting with my grandmother, a pregnant teenage grandmother, a pregnant teenage mother. She had me when she was 17. I had my first child when I was 17. Life takes a little bit of a beating on you. It's very hard to think of yourself as anything but, beautiful. It's easy to think of yourself as anything but beautiful. In my mind, do I know I'm beautiful? Yes. Do I know I'm a good person? Absolutely. Do I do everything I can to make the world a better place, 1% better every day, as I've learned recently? I do. I am the manager of 8 skilled nursing facilities, and the population that I serve deserve the best of me. But when you start out, what I think is behind the 8 ball, persevering was a job, was a struggle, was a full-time effort for me. My parents were drug addicts and alcoholics. One of my parents was the victim of sexual abuse from her father. We have lived a life of have and have not. When you are the child of a drug addict, you don't know where the money's going to come from or where it came from. And sometimes you don't want to know. I watched my loved one attempt suicide twice while I was in high school. And although at the time it was scary and hard, it made me who I am. It made me a strong person. It made me make the choices that I made in my life to rise above the deck that was dealt to me. We're all dealt a deck of cards. It's how we play those cards that make us able to do the things that we're able to do every day. I talk all the time about my faith. And if not for my faith, I don't know if I would have made good choices all along. I have had to rely on faith more often than anything else, more often than my parents, my grandparents, my siblings, my friends. Although I'm the only sister of 4 brothers, I am their boss, and they know it. I'm the oldest, so even though my brother's a 6'10" Marine, he knows I'm the boss of him. But we are a fabulous unit. I can tell you that when I was thinking about this project, coming up with words that describe the beauty within to me, about me, was nearly impossible. Like, oh yeah, I'm cool and I'm funny and I'm a good friend. And I wrote 2 different 250 word themes to be able to riff off of when I was coming to the studio. And I threw them both away because they both talked about hardcore facts like I am this and I am that. But all of those things, although they made me who I am today by guiding me, are not what makes me beautiful. Struggling with finding those words, I set out on a project and I messaged people from every facet of my life. People from church, people that I went to school with, grammar school, middle school, high school, a few teachers, friends that I've had since I've been 4 years old, current friends who know me now and did not know my struggles, to find out what words they would use to describe me as they saw me through their eyes. And I was humbled at some of the words. They were witty, spontaneous, energetic. My friend's son, Jacob, floored me, and he wrote the word resilient. And I am resilient. I am 100% resilient. I've had to be. There's been no other way that I've been able to get through than the bounce back, than get knocked down 7 times, get up 8. And I've lived a life like that, and I'm proud of that. Some of the examples that I can use from my life that have made me into a fierce human being was I had a child when I was in high school that I placed for adoption. I was 16 years old. I actually had turned 17, And to walk out of what then was Dover General Hospital and hand my child to somebody else, to a stranger, was the hardest, well, one of the hardest things I've ever done. But it's one of the greatest things I've ever done. It's the greatest gift I've ever given to another human being, is the gift of life. Not to go all religious, but it's for some people, but not for others. I absolutely went to abort that child multiple times, because who wants to be the pregnant teenager? I mean, they glorify it on MTV with 16 and pregnant, but there is nothing glorious about being a teenage mother. It is a dogfight, and you are still a child, and you're making child-like decisions. But again, that is something that made me the person that I am. Had I not made those choices, yes, my life would have been different. Maybe I would have finished college. Maybe I would have, got married to the man who I had that child with. But that wasn't the course that God set for me. He had me on a totally different path. So just want to wrap up, go back to addiction quickly. Just because I'm not addicted to drugs or alcohol, that doesn't mean I'm not an addict. I'm a foodie. I'm addicted to food. I struggle with my weight. But the biggest cross that I bear is being addicted to people pleasing. I've done it in my career. I've done it in my private life. I've done it to my detriment. I can tell you that it is as debilitating as being a drug addict. It is as debilitating as being an alcoholic. It defines me at times. Setting boundaries is not my superpower. Overthinking is, and oversharing and overhelping is. And it is an addiction, just like any other addiction. So if you're struggling with that, know that you're not alone. Know that even though people are struggling in this world with addictions that can be seen, it's the addictions that can't be seen that are sometimes the most detrimental. So again, pregnant teenager. Then I had another child very young. I had a child at 19, my MJ, who's my wanderlust. He's a good, kind-hearted soul, but we were also kids together. My son, John, I wasn't supposed to be able to have any more kids. I am a cancer survivor ×2. I had cervical cancer, and I had a tumor on my bladder that was also cancerous. Thank God for the doctor's hands that guided me and helped me, for early detection, for getting yourself checked, for listening to your body, or the gift of John Liam would not be with us today. I was, again, told I couldn't get pregnant anymore, so, I did whatever I wanted to. But yep, sure enough, I defied those odds too. And along came John Liam, who's now 26 years old, and he was gift wrapped from God. So as I moved through my 20s and 30s, I built a career. I'm proud to say that on August 13th, 2025, it will be my 30th year in healthcare. And I've worked almost primarily in nursing homes with a little stint here and there, dipping my feet in other pools, but I always came back to senior citizens. Our senior citizens are our greatest gift. If you're sitting alone on a Sunday and have nothing to do, stop by a nursing home, become a visitor, become someone that can talk to this greatest generation of people whose stories are being lost. I started as a receptionist in the nursing home that I started in 1995, and having computer skills in 1995 was a really big deal. Most people didn't have home computers just yet, but I was lucky enough to have a very techie brother who had a computer in the house, and my friend Denise, who taught me well, taught me a very simple how to use Word. And when I went in for my interview, I nailed it. I got it on the first try. I interviewed with my dear friend Charlene, who has molded my career. So flash forward, I went from being the receptionist into the business office to a unit manager to an assistant director of admissions to the director of admissions, for a great career, for a very lengthy career. And now I manage 8 skilled nursing facilities, the ins and outs of all the residents. So I'm charged with making sure that all of those residents can be cared for by us. I do work for a nonprofit, which is just so perfect for me, because their mission is my mission. I want to make sure that the people that I take care of are loved every day. And that's really all you need, is to just love our, greatest generation. I had a very intelligent administrator one time. His name is Steve, who I've remained friends with all of these years, teach me, when I'm walking into a building, all of the things that are happening in our lives, all of the noise from every direction, your spouse, your children, your kids' school, the church, the friend in need, the grocery bill, the politics, the whatever is gnawing at you can be left outside by simply leaving your problems on a leaf. So he taught me when I'm walking in to just stop, rub a leaf, leave it there, go in and serve the people that need to be served. That fits in almost every job description. If you're a teacher, if you're a police officer, if you're a grocery store cashier, if you're the janitor at the school, it doesn't matter what you do. Your integrity, your pride in what you do, whether you're a stay-at-home mom or the CEO of the biggest company on earth, you compartmentalize the things that go on in your life so you can serve the people that you're forged with serving. Steve also said, it's my choice when I walk back out the door if I pick up those problems from the leaves or not. So I usually left them there, and it made my life better. It made my life solid, and it made me leave work each day knowing that I've done the absolute best job that I can for everybody, and most importantly for myself. So I could be a better mom, a better wife, a better sister, a better daughter, a better employee, and just a better child of God. Because really, in the end, it's between me and God. It's not between me and anybody else. So again, I just want to say thank you, John Agnello, for making me look inside myself and try to find the beauty within. I needed some help and I needed some backup, but at the end of the day, it's between you and God. And live your best life, be true to yourself, and all of the rest will come. Thank you.